Excellency, and our new invitee to Mauritius, Louise. Welcome to Mauritius, and I welcome everybody for this meeting. I would like Excellency, it is called, to say a few words, and then we pass to Ms. Louise, and I join later. Please, thank you.
Good morning. As some of you may know, today is Australia Day, and therefore it is a very auspicious day for us to be announcing a new program of cooperation which has been announced at the Indian Ocean Rim Association meeting in October last year by our Foreign Minister, a program of cooperation between Australia and our partner in the Indian Ocean, Mauritius, and also the Maldives and Sri Lanka, to focus on air and maritime search and rescue in the Indian Ocean. As neighbours trying to cover such a large ocean to ensure that shipping and civil aviation can be safe, and that if there are disasters or disappearances that we can work together in search and rescue endeavours. This is going to be a project covering 3 years, where we will work together to try to ensure that that vast ocean and that vast airspace can be covered, and that as neighbours in the region we do work together whenever the need arises. It's very appropriate that we are here at the new Ministry of Ocean Economy, Fisheries, Shipping and the Outer Islands, and I must thank the Minister for hosting the first working session of this new project today. And I do congratulate the new Mauritian Government on their vision in establishing such an important portfolio which brings together different areas of the Mauritian Civil Service, together with colleagues from civil aviation for our project today, the Shipping Authority and the Coast Guard, to cooperate on this important area. So without further ado, perhaps I can hand over to our visiting Australian expert from the Australian Maritime Security Authority, Louise Proctor, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the new project. Thank you.
In Mauritius and also the Maldives and Sri Lanka, and we'll be looking to understand the priority areas to develop the search and rescue services of these countries, so that we can enhance the capability to provide search and rescue in this very remote and expansive part of the Indian Ocean region. So obviously the incidents such as MH370 and the recent tragedy of the AirAsia flight in Indonesia has highlighted the need for enhanced regional cooperation, and this will be a significant benefit of the program. So this morning we have had a very productive meeting with the search and rescue organisations of Mauritius, and have started talking about the outcomes of the program that we will look to deliver, and everyone is very much looking forward to working together. Thank you very much for having me here today on Australia Day.
Thank you. Susan Poole, the High Commissioner of Australia, Ms. Louise Proctor, Program Manager, Australian Maritime Safety Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all thank Her Excellency for the kind visit. We have only met first time before Mexico, and we discussed so many things. Today it's a new chapter. It's a new chapter because for Mauritius it's an order that, and we know Australia, they are very good in maritime safety and so many other things of sports and so on. But it is important that today Mauritius and Australia, we are entering a a venture. I'm given to understand that we have a session of work and we are going to sign a memorandum of understanding very shortly concerning cooperation with Australia and Mauritius. I'm very happy and also honored that we are opening a line of credit where we'll be having fund from Australia, and also this cooperation of safety in the Indian Ocean. I'm very, very happy about it. I'm grateful to the Australian government, especially Her Excellency, she has opened the door for us, and I'm sure with this cooperation, with this help from Australia, Mauritius will have a new vision about safety and security. The fact that we are on the Australian Day, on behalf of the government of Mauritius, on behalf of the Prime Minister of Mauritius, we would like to convey our own wishes, best wishes rather, to Australia, the people of Australia. May this meeting be fruitful in the future, and I wish to express Australia and the people a very, very happy Australian Day, and we wish that in the future this cooperation will flourish more. Thank you.
Maybe I'll add to what you said, Minister, that we've got to place on record the support extended to Mauritius in the field of maritime safety. We know the record of the government of Australia, and they have a lot of expertise in ensuring maritime safety, and they have shown in the past their readiness to support any government in the region whenever the need arises. And I'm sure that this project, building capacity for search and rescue in the Indian Ocean, will go a long way in improving safety in our region. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ma'am, ladies, and especially the embassy. Thank you for your coverage. Thank you.
In which areas of search and rescue are we talking about? What kind of cooperation are we talking about between the two?
So the International Maritime Organization and the International Civil Aviation Organization have responsibility for the international prevention of search and rescue. So we will be developing the program to ensure that we meet the requirements and the guidance of those two conventions. So the program will be looking specifically at addressing those two international conventions.
Concretely, what we're talking about Australia providing search and rescue operations if there needs to be from Mauritius and the outer islands?
We will be looking to work with the SAR agencies of Mauritius to help them develop their capability to provide search and rescue. So it will include things such as search and rescue communication and coordination systems, training initiatives, joint search and rescue exercises, those sorts of aspects.
My question to the High Commissioner. Australia, as well as Indian Ocean Rim Association, are very much involved in ocean economy. Apart from this agreement, do you intend to get engaged in other projects involving ocean economy?
Yes, thank you for that question. Relating to Australia partnering with Mauritius in the ocean economy, I think it's fair to say that we will be cooperating in a number of areas, particularly in developing areas such as your ocean sciences and the skills development required for Mauritius to really make the most of your marine resources, the potential for renewable energy from the sea, in terms of building your workforce across oceanography, the relevant disciplines such as climate change science, disaster management. And so, for example, just last year, we signed Australian higher education institutions and research institutions signed 4 new memoranda of understanding with the University of Mauritius, including one with your new Faculty of Ocean Studies. And I think this is demonstrating the vision of Mauritius in bringing together a number of disciplines from across the university into a single faculty to focus on the ocean. And we have the University of Western Australia, which has a Centre for Indian Ocean Research, which has signed an MOU. And that will involve working together with academics, students, exchanging information and expertise to help build up your ocean economy. In other areas, we know that Mauritius has a very ambitious port development plan and a master plan to develop the shipping and port capabilities. Mauritius can become a real hub in the Indian Ocean for shipping, for oil bunkering. That is one of the things that the government are looking at. And we have a major Australian infrastructure company that is ready and interested in to help develop Port Louis as a oil bunkering centre for the region, to really take advantage of all the shipping that passes through this part of the world and to help Mauritius become very much a hub in the Indian Ocean. In other areas such as protection of your coral reefs and making sure that the fisheries in Mauritius, the precious resource, the living resources of the ocean can be maximised and sustained. We are interested in exchanging expertise in that area. And also, I mentioned marine renewable energies. Last year, Dr. Sadu, the head of your Mauritius Research Council, did an extensive visit to Australia where he looked at wave energy, energy from pumping cold water from the deep sea bed to provide air conditioning and cooling systems. He visited our Commonwealth Science and Industrial Organisation to see their expertise across many ocean disciplines. And again, we are confident that the Mauritius Research Council is going to take forward some joint projects with Australian experts to maximise Mauritius as a laboratory and an engine for the ocean economy in the Indian Ocean region. Thank you.
Minister, you mentioned a line of credit and the amount and what could be used for.
The exact amount you want to know?
Well, approximately.
At the meeting, the IORA meeting last year, $2.6 million was announced for this project. Australian dollars, yes. The project, which, as the Minister mentioned, will be the Australian Maritime Safety Authority providing technical assistance to Mauritius, Sri Lanka and the Maldives. And so that's a significant investment in developing the expertise, providing training, having staff exchanges, and very much working with the key agencies here to develop Mauritius expertise and systems so that it can become a centre for best practice in the region together with Maldives and Sri Lanka.
I would like to clarify that it is not a land play, it is being financed by Australia.
Grant, I mean? It's a grant.
It's a grant.
Also, the discussions are going on now. How long before you actually sign the MOU with everything detail?
Perhaps I can mention, Minister mentioned a memorandum of understanding, and this program complements a regional memorandum of understanding which was actually opened for signature at the IORA meeting last year. IORA is an organisation of 20 countries and so far a number have signed on to the MOU, and I know that the Mauritian authorities, it came at a time right before your national elections in fact, so I know that the MOU is now under consideration with the new government, and as Minister has mentioned, a number of different agencies are involved in looking at this. Obviously the Prime Minister's Department, the new Ministry of Ocean Economy, the Coast Guard come under the responsibility of the Commissioner of Police, and the Civil Aviation authorities are under the Ministry of Tourism and External Communications. So it's very much a broad consideration of the IORA MOU, which is now open for signature.
We will show you. I'll say exactly what, but we'll do that. Any other question, please? Okay, so, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.